3, 2, 1, go!
Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to the anime review. Today we're looking at episode 5 of Sword Art Online Alicization arc, aka season 3 of Sword Art Online. Now, as I figured, we have Asuna coming back. Again, I warn you guys, don't expect her for a long time. You know, they're going to have probably a few episodes revolving around Asuna and some of the struggles she goes through right now, but she's not a big player in season 3. It's really more so about Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh's story within the underworld. Now, there is, though, behind the scenes that I'm glad they went really well in depth with, for the most part, for this week's episode, where, you know, we see that Asuna quickly is trying to figure out what happened to Kirito after the incident where he was attacked. You know, they go to the hospital. He was able to be resuscitated, but the thing was that the cost that he was dead for several minutes, making it where Kirito's mind and body could have been affected, because, you know, if people didn't understand that, in case you're not really medical savvy, if your body technically dies, so you have no oxygen pumping to the brain, that can cause various things where people will wake up, and if they do wake up, that's the key word, if they wake up, because a lot of people stay comatose after this, but if you stay dead for too long and you're resuscitated back, you do have brain damage usually. It usually affects either something in your body, it can affect the way you move, it can affect the way you talk from then on, maybe memory, various things can be affected, and usually, the longer you're dead, are pronounced dead, the more your mind is affected. So you go from, you know, a minute being bad to how Kirito was in this. He was like, I think they said 5 minutes exactly. That's danger levels where your brain was not getting any oxygen pumping to it for 5 minutes. So that's dangerous. But that's just in case anyone doesn't understand the medical savvy of this. And I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you do, but you know, I know that I do have some younger viewers out there that might not go and like, well, how's that, why was it such a big deal? There you go. But the thing is that, you know, they want to right away visit Kirito after he gets sent to another hospital facility that's done by Kirikawa, and they're like, oh, you know, we'll go visit him there, you know, we'll see how he's doing. They find out something's very strange going on, that he apparently wasn't actually showing up at this new hospital that he was sent to. And, you know, the one thing I'm kind of happy they did, and also kind of upset they did, is they skipped over a little bit of how they transition of how Kirito got to the Turtle Beach, or Turtle Beach, that's the name of the headphone company, how he got to the Turtle Base in the middle of the ocean. You know, it was kind of quickly done. You know, the light novel spends a decent amount of time, and I kid you not, guys, it spends maybe a good, like, 60 pages on talking about how they get there, where, you know, they're trying to figure out the concepts of wrath, they're trying to figure out how the money went there, and I'm kind of happy they skipped a lot of that, glossed over quickly. But at the same time, there was a little more development with characters, and we learned a little bit more about certain characters specifically. Like, for example, Kayaba's lover, who's, you know, I don't even want to say lover because that's kind of a little bit too open-ended version of the question of the actual term that she is. But they'll go more into that next week's episode, most likely. I don't want to spoil too much for you, obviously, and I could do that. I don't want to, though. But, you know, there's various things that they did kind of rush, and I'm like, I'm okay with it to a certain degree, but I think I could have like maybe seen a little bit more in terms of detail. Like, they got really quickly there, and that did bother me a little bit, but it's not a big deal. But you know, I do, as we find out when they go to the turtle facility, they do discover that Kirito is most likely there, and of course the underworld that Kirito's in is there too. So how do these bases link up? What is going on here? They will probably, again, episode 6 will probably be the big revelation stuff where you get the story and stuff like that. So we'll probably keep going with Asuna's tale here. If not, the only thing I see is them going back to Kirito's story, and I hope they don't do that, because there is a part in the light novel, I think it's like, I want to say 10, I want to say, maybe even before that, where they dive back and forth between the stories, because like Asuna's tale is being told, and then they go back to Kirito's kind of journey to the Citadel and all that. But I hope they don't do that. I really think that would kind of be annoying if they do it. So I hope next week's episode again continues Asuna's story, and we get to know more about what's going on. So this way you guys can understand a little bit more, because there, like I said, there's some interesting things like that. I really love how they're doing this story. It's so far from the adaptation of the light novel, but the light novel has a lot of tidbits for characters and past backgrounds and stuff like that. And I hope the animation doesn't skip over, especially knowing that, you know, it's going to be on for what, 2 whole years or something like that, or a whole year. So, excuse me, I think it's a whole year. It's not 2 years, be kind of awesome, but I don't think they would ever do that for a show. At least not like Sword Art. I don't think I could ever see that being 2 full years. But I know for the full year we're supposed to get 4 cores in general, so they're going to keep splitting it up. But I'm hoping we don't get skipped too much with this. And, you know, like I said, there is a point where even I will be surprised, but that won't be probably until, like, way later, because I did get up to a decent amount through the light levels, so it's like, I want to wait to that part, but I'm just like, I hope you guys are enjoying this, because here's the thing, is that I'm not a huge SAO fan in terms of the anime. I say this like every other episode review, and I apologize to the people that hear it over and over again, but, you know, the Alicization arc, what I love about it is, I love how they kind of get rid of a lot of the stupid elements from the season 2 and kind of bring back a little bit more of the elements from season 1, where it's not a death game per se, but at the same token, it's so immersive for Kirito that he feels the pain, you know, like we saw when he got hurt by the goblin. He feels this world. This world is something of a life now to him, so it's very similar to SAO1. But meanwhile, you're also getting this very interesting story going on in the background of why he's there. You know, what's going on, why specifically he's necessary to this whole component. And, you know, again, I told someone, not without spoiling it, but, you know, the girl that shows up in episode 2, I think it was, who only shows up for like a brief moment, you know, she's laying in bed, I used her as a thumbnail, but there's a reason, you know, those savvy people that watch my videos realize that there was a reason I used her specifically, not just for fan service or not just clickbait or anything like that. I used her specifically because she's very important to the story. So I'm very curious what they're going to do with her character, and I'm very curious where she goes further in the story, but I'm also curious how they're going to interplay her into what we see coming up soon, because there is many concepts to that will be very intriguing to see, and I haven't gotten up to. But, you know, I again, back to the whole thing is that I just really love how it's not like season 2, it's not like the fairy dance sequence and all that, it's very akin to season 1. But anyways, guys and girls, what did you think about this week's episode? I really liked it a lot. I think it was, you know, even though we don't have a lot of action, stuff like that, we had more of a storytelling going on, and I'm happy with that. I would like to know from what you thought of it in the comments below, of course. As always, if you like my reviews, even though I don't upload as much as I used to, I still try to upload at least once or twice a week. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, you know, to see when my new content comes out if you want to. I know that I've lost a shit ton of people, and I don't want to curse, but I have to. In terms of viewership, it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it is what it is, you know. And I know it's like getting some trolls on my videos recently. It's not a big deal, you know. Hey, listen, you know, I think trolls forget that every time they click on the video, even if they hit the dislike on it, it still acts as traffic, even for that brief second. So it's helping me out. So they're like, okay, you know, you can hit dislike on it. I'm not saying I want that, but you're not just, you know, not hurting me in the process, even though they think they are. So. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. If you do like it, make sure to hit the like button, of course, and I will talk to you guys later. Like I said twice already, I'm tired. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm beat. God bless you all. Remember, daylight savings time is tonight, technically 2 o'clock in the morning. The clock goes back an hour, so you get an extra hour of sleep for Sunday, which I'm very happy about because I can use that extra hour of sleep. I really need it. I will talk to you then. God bless you all. Bye-bye.